Hey, what's up? Welcome to a Moon Knight skill preview, overview thing, whatever. Let's get to it. Moon Knight is available now on the test center. Remember, all of this stuff is going to be,
I am the blade of vengeance.
subject to change. This is probably the first build for Moon Knight, and a lot of stuff is going to change, so keep that in mind. I've gone ahead and popped him up to level 60, put 1 point in all his skills, except for these two, because we'll learn about that later. But the first thing that we need to get to is his synergies. Actually, let's talk about that awesome, ride in on a ladder thing. That was amazing. Okay, now the second order of business is his synergies. Are they here? Are they here? Yes. Here we go. His synergies are at level 25, 2% physical power crit chance, nice, and level 50, 2% physical power crit chance. That is awesome. Stack that with Cable's synergies, and you've got some pretty nice crit chance on physical skills. That's gonna be amazing. Wow. That is a lot of crit. All right. So amazing synergies right there. Let's get to his powers. I would show off his costumes, but his other one is not in game yet. The one he's got right now is the Moon Knight Modern costume, and there's another one that he'll start with, and it's all black. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but it is not in the test center build yet, so I can't show it off. Let's get to the powers. He's got 3 trees: martial arts, tech gadgets, and Khonshu's blessing. We're going to start with martial arts and find out what that's all about. That's already on that, so we'll just... I'm going to put all of these on their skills and whatnot on the bar. Now, he's got one that was a passive. Let's go over that first. Carbon armor. Made during your time as Jake Lockley, this suit of high-tech armor helps you fight crime with less chance of personal injury. It's so effective, enemies are likely to harm themselves against the armor instead of you. Gives you defense, gives you max health, ignore 4.5% damage per 10% up to 70%. Missing health. Wait, what? So each 10% of missing health is going to cause you to ignore 4.5% of the damage you take. The lower you are on HP, the less damage you take. Block gives you an 8% chance to block attacks. And physical damage, you do extra damage when you block a melee attack, and you do a little bit less damage when you block a ranged attack. That's really cool. Now, how does this scale? Oh wow, the ignore percent goes up quite a bit with that. That's probably going to be a maxed out passive for most builds. All right, so now let's get on to the skills. We've got Moon Staff. Now this one looks pretty simple. Physical damage, attack speed. See how that looks. Wait, that wasn't it. There we go. Nice animations. I like that. So, basic attack right there with no extra bonuses or anything. Then the skill that I accidentally used is combat maneuvers. Maneuver out of the frame, combat, roll, immediately cleanse negative status effects, and become immune to them for a short time. So this is a CC breaker as well as a dodge roll. Cool. And it looks to work. In fact, probably using the same animation as Daredevil's combat roll. Attack speed and move speeds are increased for a time after using it. Cool. Also has a stun component to it if you jump through an enemy. Staff sweep. Swing your staff in a circle, dealing damage to enemies around you and knocking them down. This is going to have a weaken component to it, and do some physical damage and knockdown. See how that looks. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Next one, Nunchuck Bulldoze. I imagine this is going to work a lot like Gambit's all-in skill. Plow through crowds of enemies using your whirling nunchucks, leaving them bruised and battered in your wake. Yep. The radius on this is awesome. Look at this. I'm just like walking through and hitting things behind me and stuff. That's amazing. Is that an area power too? Oh man, it's an area power. Oh, can you imagine with a Doc Ock medallion and some oh, what do you call that one? The power prism shard. Like, I hit that thing over there. I'm standing here in the middle and I hit that guy. That's gonna be amazing. Okay. And next skill we've got is Gauntleted Punch. It's gonna do some physical damage. It's got critical damage rating. It's another basic. Punch, 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 punch. It's pretty cool. Next skill is melee fighting skill called Gruesome Frenzy. Lash out with a crazed series of ferocious blows and finish with a brutal overhead hammer blow from both fists. It's going to do some physical damage. It can be activated up to 20 times within 5 seconds. What? Alright, it's got an execute mechanic on it, and finishing move, physical damage, huge. Physical damage, huge. That's what the finishing move for this one is. Spirit cost is blah 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 per hit. Cooldown is 30 seconds. So let's see. So you gotta spam this button a bunch. And, oh wow. So you actually have to get to the 20 hits within the 5 seconds to get that huge finishing move. So this is gonna be one of those, you gotta spam this button, and yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Let's see if I can actually do this. If I can get the final hit. And there it is. Wow! 91k. That's crazy. This is, of course, with no gear of any kind. 91k for that last hit. And that was a hit. Not to mention it's got an execute mechanic on it as well. That is going to be one hell of a move right there. If you can get in and actually use it and get all the way up to that 20th hit, then you're going to do tons of damage with Gruesome Frenzy. Next skill in the tree is Cestus Gauntlet Punch. I forgot that last word. Cestus Gauntlet Punch. Utterly decimate enemies with a heavy crushing haymakers. With the heavy crushing haymakers from your gauntleted fists. This looks like your boss killing spirit spending thing. It's got doing physical damage and extra damage to bosses. Let's have a look. Yeah, slow, big, heavy punches. Using probably the same animation that this other one is without the kick. Alright, and next thing, well, that's all of that tree. That's everything that's in martial arts. So let's move on to the tech gadgets. There's Crescent Dart. Let's put that on that. Now, it looks like one of them does not have a an icon as of yet. All right, let's look over. There were no passives in there that I saw. Let's just make sure. Quick run over the skills to see no hidden passives. Nope, good. All right, Crescent Dart, ranged basic fighting, physical damage, crit rating, rate of fire pretty high. So let's just show that off real quick. Hold on. I saw something pretty cool. You see how you throw those at the wall and they fall to the ground and they stay there. If they hit a wall, they bounce off and they stay there on the ground. That's really cool. It's the little things. It's the little things, guys, that matter so much. And that's one thing with Marvel, with Gazillion rather. They've got the attention to detail going on in this game. I like this. But what I find interesting is this attack doesn't just go out in a straight line. You'll notice that I'm hitting those targets to the side every now and then. And that's because he throws them out in, it says it's out in a straight line, but as he's doing his attacks, sometimes he'll throw them out to the side every once in a while. That's kind of cool. Let's go over here and see if we can get a, See, they curve. That's what's up. Just every once in a while, they randomly curve. Huh. That's interesting. Alright, next skill in the tree, Crescent Yank. There you go. Throws out some little crescent darts with ropes on them, pulls them back in, and pulls the enemies with them. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, sees enemies in a cone in front of you. That'll be interesting for PvP, pulling people in under towers. If you can get a stun on them right after that, then they're in trouble. Uh-oh. And here we go. Here's his movement power. Glider Cape. Dun 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 dun. Whoa! That is awesome. Okay, I'm hooked. Like, first thing he does is he shoots this a grappling hook up into the sky. Flies around using his cape. That is so cool. He can't go over this for some reason. Whatever. Flying high, man. And oh, here we go. Throw your truncheon. We got Ricochet. Throw your truncheon, bouncing it between multiple nearby enemies. Damage dealt to the same target decreases each time it is hit. So we got some physical damage, maximum of 7 bounces, and damage rating plus 360 with your next melee power. So we've got a Konshu effect. Oh, go figure. Idol of Konshu is an amazing artifact that gives you a damage bonus to your next melee power when you use a ranged power. And here we go. We could not have MoonKnight without having that same effect on a skill, because here it is. Ricochet, damage rating with next melee power increases. Let's have a look at that. There's Ricochet. That's pretty cool. Let me get a melee power out. Let's go with Gauntleted Punch thing. Yeah, Gauntleted Punch, and I just reset my skill bar. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so here's Ricochet. Or here's the punch normally. Yeah. 3, 5, 7. Wow, this is really hard to tell what the average hit is for. But anyway, there's the damage. And now, after Ricochet, boom! It hits a bit harder. A little bit. Yeah, like I said, this skill is all over the board as far as hard to tell if when that is actually applying. Still, that's pretty cool. Next one we've got is Crescent Gun Barrage. Under the Barrage skill, hold down the hotkey, lay down a continuous barrage of crescents. Let's find out what that looks like. Nice. Pulls out his crescent firing guns, I guess. Let's go over here so we can see the crescents. There you go. You can see little tiny crescent darts. That animation's really cool. And next one we've got is Crescent Dart Fan. Throw a spread of crescent darts that pierce through enemies, dealing more damage the further away the enemy. The better tool for dispatching wayward cowards. Nice. We've got some physical damage, blah blah blah, per shot. Base damage up to 250% to far away targets. Rate of fire is 1.7 per second. Let's quickly look at that. I'm gonna see if I can get a good representation of the far away targets thing. Looks like, oh, they pierce everything? Really? Wow. This skill, coupled with Ricochet, because why not? Thinking. Wow. Yeah, I could. This skill is going to be a lot of damage. You can see the close-up hits are doing about 1,500, but these further away ones are doing definitely 3,000, maybe more. Further away the target is, the more damage that skill is going to do. Couple that with some of the, what do you call them? The things you get from storyline. Shields. Oh, I don't know. They give you a percentage bonus damage to far away targets. So that might be pretty cool. Now the last skill well, actually the second to last skill. Crescent Bolo. Shoot wired crescents, immobilizing enemies and damaging them over time. So we've got some immobilization and a physical damage. Is it an AoE? It says it's an area, so yep. Oh, nice. Alright, this is going to work a lot like Loki's skill that does damage, and also a lot like Ghost Rider's chains that he throws out. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And let's look at the animation. There it is. That's pretty cool. And the last skill in the tree, Explosive Crescent Dart. Physical damage to target is double the amount that the physical damage to nearby enemies is, and it also applies some vulnerability. The rate of fire is pretty freaking high. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, wow. Wow. There's that vulnerability application you can see. A lot like Explosive Arrow from Hawkeye. Very nice. Let's go see about the animation. Big old crescent darts that explode. Alright. Now we move on to Khonshu's Blessing. Now we've got two skills here. We're gonna go over those in a minute, but first let's look at Fist of Khonshu is a passive. I don't wear white to hide myself. I wear it so they'll see me coming. So they know who it is. 'Cause when they see white, it doesn't matter how good a target I am. Their hands shake so bad they couldn't hit the moon. Interesting. Interesting. Fist of Khonshu. Critical and brutal strike rating. plus 240, and damage rating with melee powers and against targets attacking you. So, wait, how does that work? Is that a doubled up bonus? So if you're doing melee damage against targets attacking you? Or is it a double conditional, where it's going to increase your melee damage against targets attacking you? That's a little bit confusing. I don't know how that's working. Whether it is whether it's applying 240 damage only when you are using melee powers against targets that are attacking you, or if it's applying 240 damage with melee powers and another 240 damage against targets attacking you. I would like some clarification on that. The next skill, like I said, we'll go over these in a second. They're a little bit multiple personalities, passive. You're a man of many talents and personalities. Despite your stress-induced psychosis, you manage to make use of the best traits of your different identities. Current rank, blah blah blah. Mark Spectre's resilience. Regenerate 10% maximum health when you are defeated. Cooldown 10 minutes, so whenever you get defeated, you pop back up with 10% of your maximum health. Pretty cool. Stephen Grant's Fortune, plus 5 more credits per drop, and Jake Lockley's Cunning, 10% increased chance to find special items. So probably a 1-point wonder. The cooldown for the regenerate effect and the amount of health that you pop back up with does go up with points put into the skill. Still say 1-point wonder. Khonshu Unbound, your basic CC breaker, 15-second cooldown. The cooldown decreases with points put in the skill. It also gives you quite a boost to tenacity as a passive effect. But 15 seconds on that CC breaker seems a little bit high. I don't know though. And then Idol of Khonshu. We'll go ahead and this one's our only real active ability in this tree. Well, actually, it's Anyway, Idol of Khonshu. Manifest an Idol of Khonshu to bless you and your allies. MoonKnight gains tribute twice as fast while near the statue, and I guess we'll go over tribute here in a minute. Summon duration is 10 seconds. The damage rating that you bless everyone with, 360. Restore, what now? You restore how much health? And 1 spirit on health on hit? That's a lot of health. That is a lot of health. Everyone in the circle restores that much health on hit. We're going to go test this out here in a minute. Alright, statue health. Okay, and they've got health and defense, so it can be killed. It's a 40-second cooldown, though. Let me go see about this. You restore how much health? Am I going to get one-shot by this guy? I don't know. I don't have any armor on. I might get one-shot by that guy. But I want to try this out. I want to see.
I can't take much more.
It didn't even summon it. It didn't even summon it. Well then. Well anyway, I've got some damage on me now. Let me here when this comes back up, we'll see how much I heal for. In the meantime, let's have a look at Tools of Vengeance. Khonshu blesses your weapons with the powers of vengeance. In return for all of your spirit, your powers are free and deal extra damage for a short time. Your spirit does not regenerate during this time. Meanwhile, your powers get bonus based on your missing health and spirit. When activated, powers cost no spirit. Spirit is reduced to 0 and cannot be regenerated. Gives you a damage rating boost. The buff lasts 8 seconds and requires and consumes maximum tribute. So you have to get to the top here on this tribute thing. Speaking of which, what is tribute? Gain tribute to Khonshu by defeating enemies least, critical hitting more, and brutal striking most. Spend this favor on one of 2 gifts. Okay. Now, when you choose one of these, you're not going to be able to choose the other one. That's what I've been told. Let's look at Idol of Khonshu real quick, though. We put this up. Wow, yeah, my health pops way back up when I hit. So yeah, each hit from everyone in this circle, when they hit an enemy, is going to regenerate all of their HP. That's incredible. That's incredible. And it only goes up with points put in the skill. Alright. So which one am I going to choose first? Let's go with Tools of Vengeance first off. And it actually gives you a little pop-up. The choices you've made will prevent you from selecting these powers without using a retcon device to reallocate your power points. Avatar of Vengeance. So it does give you a quick, hey, if you do this, you're not going to be able to choose the other skill. That's pretty cool.
I will use this in my never-ending fight.
But let's go ahead and say we're going to spam Explosive Crescent Dart and Crescent Bolo after using, what do you call this thing? Tools of Vengeance. So, over here, doing my thing. It's time to DPS mode. Boom, 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 boom. Everything takes no spirit. This is cool.
I need a second.
And now I'm out of spirit. But you do eventually run out. And then you'll, of course, have to regen it all back up. You can't actually regen by defeating enemies, critical hitting, or brutal striking, right? So getting some crit and brutal on him is going to be very, very much needed to keep that that tribute filling back up.
Why is it failing me at the worst time?
You can see it's rather difficult to earn up that tribute. Now, granted, I'm running around without any crit rating, without any brutal strike rating, without any gear, period. So with a little bit of crit rating, that tribute is going to fill up much faster. Not to mention that defeating enemies will fill it as well. So if you're actually defeating things instead of just beating on training dummies, that tribute power will come back fairly quickly. And now the other skill, Avatar of Vengeance. Let's quickly respec. And we're just going to put 1 point in there. I got a punch, right? Yeah, I got Moonstaff. Alright. Yes.
Is this too much power for one man to hold?
Alright, so let's quickly go over Avatar of Vengeance. Khonshu blesses you with the powers of vengeance in exchange for sacrificing your health. In exchange for sacrificing your health, you are immune to death for a short time. Meanwhile, your powers get a bonus based on your missing health and spirit. You cannot be defeated. Health is reduced to 1 and cannot be regenerated. The buff duration is 8 seconds and requires and consumes maximum tribute. So you do have to work your tribute up to be able to use this. Real quick, let's work that tribute up and see what we do. And it looks like Gruesome Frenzy here needs some what do you call them? Sound effects added to it. I'm sure they'll get those eventually. Just gonna work my my tribute back up. Like I said, it's pretty rough when you've got no gear. But when you've got gear and you got plenty of crit, I'm sure it'll be easy enough to work that tribute up. All right, so Avatar of Vengeance, 8 seconds of you can't kill me, neener, neener, neener. See, I'm taking tons of damage right there, and eventually 8 seconds is gonna wear off. And what do? Ah! And now I'm running around with no HP, literally 1 HP. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work, because if you come out of it, maybe at the end it should boost your HP back up to a survivable level. Because coming out of that with 1 HP is gonna be rough, very, very rough. All right. Well, that's all of his skills. Let's get to his ultimate, Concentrated Fire. It's an area. Call in reinforcements from the Mooncopter, filling an area with bullets from the sky. Physical damage, 33k twice per second. Area duration, 20 seconds. What's it look like? Oh, wow. Just off screen, we've got the Mooncopter up there somewhere. It doesn't have an animation yet. They might add one later, but that animation's pretty cool. That damage and all that. It seems to remind me a lot of Hawkeye's new ult. So I think it's going to be used probably the same way. And there you have it, guys. There you have it. MoonKnight, all of his skills. I don't think I've missed anything. Yeah, the costumes. Can't go over the other costume yet. Went over his synergies. Looked at his skills. I think we're good. MoonKnight. Hold on. I have to do a show off.
The blade of vengeance has no equal.
Oh, his gun's bugged. It's stuck upside down in his hand. Oh well, whatever. I'm MoonKnight.